Okay.
Alright, let's do this.
Hi, I'm Austin Beebe.
And I'm Edgar Garcia.
Alright, and Edgar and I are working with each other for Regular Sensations, which is our startup film studio, and we decided to start a show together, so that is this, which you're watching now, which is Conversations Today. So today's topic, we are going to be talking about Jurassic Park and the new movie, Jurassic World, and what our thoughts were on that since we both watched it. So Edgar, how are you doing?
Very good, and thrilled about starting this, so let's do it. Let's compare these movies, let's talk about all of our love for it and all of our hatred, and let's roll with it.
Alright, well, so with Jurassic Park, I really loved this series. It was a childhood favorite. Like, next to Star Wars, it was like number 2. But there were some things that bothered me about it. Like, in the first one, like, the whole movie is based on the theory that people were able to somehow gather DNA from mosquitoes, from one mosquito, and that somehow spawned into all the different breeds and species of dinosaurs that they have, which doesn't exactly make sense. They also have, like, extinct plants in the new modern park. How the heck did they get, like, plants? Like, mosquitoes don't eat plant blood, so I don't know how that worked. But my theory with all this is that, because in the new movie, in Jurassic World, they mention, oh, by the way, spoiler alert here. We're talking about...
Really bad. If you haven't seen the movie,
don't watch
hang
this.
up right now.
Yeah. So in the new movie, it says, like, the Indominus Rex and the new dinosaur was mixed with the DNA and, like, alligators and things like that. Modern animals. So my theory claims, basically, inside that maybe, just maybe, all the other dinosaurs weren't really resurrected dinosaurs. They were just made to look like dinosaurs. They didn't resurrect dinosaurs, they made new ones. Does that make sense?
Right, because the Velociraptor actually had feathers. It wasn't like the Velociraptor that we're seeing. If you go into the research on the Velociraptors, they were actually feathers. They look more like birds than they did actual dinosaurs. So I think they just created their new ones. Maybe they don't look anything like that at all.
Yeah. So, like, I'm thinking that John Hammond, the original guy, he invited all these people, like, you know, Malcolm and you know, all them. He invited them to see if he could fool them into thinking that these were real dinosaurs, not to see if it was a good park or safe or things like that. Because if he could fool these people, then he could fool anyone. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Right.
See, so that's,
and he fooled us like fans. He fooled us like fans too. So we went with it.
So, like, that's my theory for the first movie. But enough about that. What did you think about the new movie?
Well, the biggest thing of it that I just found so exciting is the fact that they had a great mixture of action, suspense, comedy. You know, Chris Pratt. To be honest, I only met him from watching the movie of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I didn't even know who he was. So,
and that was a
goes
good
to show
movie.
how much I actually pay attention. Exactly, and so they pretty much put the people from the person that played the actor in Guardians of the Galaxy into this movie, and he did great.
It was like the same character almost. It was great.
Yeah, it was exactly, you know, Star-Lord, here I am, now I'm in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And so, it was great. It was great to see it. He just added so much to the movie, just being that individual, that character. Not to take anything from the first one, but he just did such a good job of it, and that's what stood out the most to me. I know eventually they create the new dinosaur, they have a different story, sort of trying to follow up from the old one, but I think he did a really good job of bringing the movie to life.
Yeah. And overall, I think it was a really good, I mean, it was a really family-friendly, fun, enjoyable movie, and I had a blast watching it. There were little things that I have to nitpick about, but I mean, overall, it was just a fantastic film. I mean, it was a great summer hit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, some of the characters, it was sort of missing the point. I mean, I don't even know what they were even doing in the movie. It sort of threw it off a little. you got the main guy running the show, crashes his helicopter and he dies.
Yeah.
Then you have the babysitter taking care of the kids that's not really taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
You have an aunt that doesn't love her both of her nephews, which John Hammond loved his grandchildren. So it was just so those characters' plot points were a little off. So luckily Chris Pratt made up for all of that.
Well, there was. I mean, it was really well casted, and I really liked the characters. The character development felt like there was a lot of cliches, and it was really kind of forced, which bothered me a little bit. Because it was like, typical family issues, typical this, but not only was it like super typical, super overdone cliche, but also, like, we've done this before. Like, we had the visionary, John Hammond in the original, and this like new Indian guy, I can't even remember his name, in the new movie. He was the visionary. But we also had a manager, like, who was the main woman, the female role lead. And so like those two replaced John Hammond, and then we had like the main guy and girl, also, and then we had the two kids. And that's like the exact same thing. Like they kind of copied the whole thing. And that actually rolls into one of my cons of this whole thing. Like, out of a pro-con structure, you can tell, like, I'm kind of even mad that they even made this movie in the first place, because, I mean, Hollywood has been beating dead horses in films constantly. Like, we have to have a reboot of this and that and that and that and that. Like, every single freaking movie franchise has to have 9 movies now. Like,
Star Wars.
We had, Star Wars, but Terminator and Star Trek and, I mean, everything. And Marvel is going crazy right now. Like, not only and like, talk about Spider-Man. There's like freaking 8 versions of that now.
Yeah.
But like, with this, there was a trilogy. So the first one was great.
But with that, I mean, not trying to throw off the subject, but the fact, at least with Spider-Man, it's mainly Sony than it is Marvel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But they are doing the reboot on Spider-Man, so I guess now they're just adding to the pain.
So, I mean, it's like, you can reboot something from the 70s, but, like, not something from this decade. Like, that's just scraping the bottom of the barrel. But anyways, so, like, the first Jurassic Park was freaking fantastic. Second one was okay. Third one was okay. The fourth Jurassic Park, the one that just came out, Jurassic World, was awesome. I really loved it. But they made it painfully obvious that they're going to have a sequel to that. So maybe it's like the first trilogy and the second trilogy. So like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, right?
I think it should be a standalone. I hope they don't. I don't know. They really shouldn't just add more to that one. It ended.
You can really tell that they're like, the reason it's painfully obvious that they're going to have a sequel is because they've set it up with, like, okay, so they made a big deal about everyone coming in and taking all the DNA for all the different dinosaurs, like, right in the middle of the crash, and that was not important to the plot of that particular movie. Like, it was definitely setting up for that. That's like a plot point in the next movie. Does that make sense? Did you catch that? So, like, and that makes me mad, because not only are they rebooting it, but they're making another freaking sequel. Like, this freaking franchise is gonna be torn up. I hate it when they wear down franchises. That makes me so mad.
We're combining, the computer version, plus all the animatronics, and this last one they didn't use. I don't think there was any animatronics. We can look back, and I think everything was just pretty much probably 3D. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
But on the other side of that, like, when they're doing all these things with animatronics, like physical, like everything physical, but then also green screens everywhere, and dinosaurs are all green screen. They included a lot of product placement into that. How do you feel about, like, the ridiculous amount of product placement? Like, Samsung, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, freaking Starbucks, everywhere, everything.
It was just a big old advertisement. Yeah, it was a big old advertisement movie. Let's just shove everything we can in there, and hopefully, we get some people buy it. Oh, I just watched Jurassic World. I'm gonna go buy that. And to them, I think that part was just to make more money. I was like, no, we gotta make more money still.
That cheapened the film a little bit to me. That kind of made me a little upset.
Yeah.
That they did that so much.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't they have their own Jurassic World cup or something? Their own soda. Velociraptor soda. Raptor soda.
Yeah.
Rap your soda. I don't know. Invent something. Become original
Yeah.
with it, I guess you could say.
But, you know, they did make a lot of money from those things.
Yeah.
But so my review of the movie overall is that it was really, really good, friendly. I mean, there were little things like how it should have ended and CinemaSins, they captured this very well, and I'm really, like all the other YouTube sources out there and things like that, I'll link a video link in the description to the how it should have ended, because it notifies a lot of things of how it,
I love those YouTube movies. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, they mentioned, like, the Indominus Rex got out of the pen because they had a dinosaur-sized door in the pen. Why would you have a dinosaur-sized door big enough for this gigantic dinosaur to get out? Like, if you just go through a smaller door, problem solved, dinosaur's still in the cage.
Yeah. They never should have had that door. Didn't they learn from Lost World?
Yeah.
But
anyways, so that's good. I think that's all I have to say.
Well, and the part that you had said about the whole ending part, we won't spoil that part. Say how the ending went, but it was awesome. I think it was cool. I think I just wanted more of it. I think the ending was shorter. I think compared to the entire movie.
Yeah, it did feel kind of cut off, didn't it?
Yeah, it just felt like boom, over. I was like, oh man, I needed more out of that. I won't say exactly what it was, but you'll find out if you haven't seen the movie.
But it's kind of like they did kind of like a main character rises again. He's on the top. You know, he's sitting there. Ah, this is mine. I own this. You know, and so it's like that felt like a kind of triumphant thing. It made you feel good for the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But all right. Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you again next week, next Saturday, with a whole new topic. I look forward to ranging hundreds of topics through this. And that's all. Goodbye.
Laters.